We're live here in Pittsburgh at the National Cannabis Conference, and I'm really excited about my guests. But first, Aaron's been just hooking me up with all these guests. He's just been so awesome. Aaron, can you introduce who our guest is?
Sure. We have Russ here from Keystone Integrated Care.
Russ Cersosimo, that's how you say that.
Okay. All right, so tell us about how you got involved in the cannabis industry.
Yeah, so actually I got involved when a little girl that was 11 years old with about 10,000 seizures per year had a grand mal seizure at a fundraiser, and we had the opportunity to pair her with somebody that could give her the oil, basically, that eventually helped save her life when she was given 2 weeks left.
Oh my gosh.
And she's now, it's been 3.5 years. She's 15, yeah, she was 11 at the time, and she's smiling again and beginning to communicate with her mother for the first time in probably about 5-6 years.
So when did you first learn about how it can help medically? Especially we're talking Pittsburgh, we're talking where you live is right down the street.
Well, luckily I started a tech company in California, so I had a chance to see what they were doing on the West Coast, and you see that reefer madness stigma that was ever so entrenched in the Pittsburgh or the East Coast mindset. We saw that lifted in California, and coming back over here was very easy to explain to people that this isn't the devil's drug, and that people weren't going to impregnate people after smoking it, that it was actually healing people. So it was,
And that's the thing, because of the stigma. And I've interviewed people already and hearing about some of the things helping with anxiety, depression, seizures, as you talked about, just
everything you can
calming,
imagine.
even ADHD, ADD. Why is it that everyone jumps to the pharmaceuticals still? What can you do, especially yourself, Russ, to kind of educate people on that?
That's a great question. People are jumping to pharmaceuticals because that's what their doctor is trained to do. If they have a problem, they like to check off a box that they sent you home with a potential remedy that's been proven as far as research goes. Right now, cannabis is coming around, and all we have is anecdotal information for the most part that shows what's working. But you're starting to see that the pharmaceutical drugs really losing their market share, I should say, as they come on board here in Pennsylvania. We'll see a 25% decrease in opioid overdose deaths just because cannabis is an available therapy. Yep.
So when is this going to happen? That's the big
Yeah.
point.
So we right now we have 1 or 2 growers open right now that are providing product for the dispensaries that are slowly coming on board, and we expect over the course of the next year to start to see a lot of these first phase applicants start to get up and running, and then phase 2 is actually. We're right in the middle of it, and we expect to see another, really a doubling of the licenses over the next month.
So explain that to me, because and I'm going to have you on my to have a longer interview, especially we could just go right down to Starbucks or wherever to kind of talk about, but kind of explain for our audience what's happened once Pennsylvania decided that they could do this. You're on phase 2, so basically it's still not available yet, right?
Yeah, so it is available. What we're finding is that dispensaries are opening for maybe 1 or 2 days while there's product available, and then they're closing up shop because there's not enough product to keep the doors open. So PA just launched the program. They just awarded 12 grower processors as well as 27 dispensaries, and those groups are all trying to get up and running. Now, where PA kind of screwed up is they said, hey, everyone's got to be up in 6 months. They should have tiered it so that the grower processor got up, had time to grow, create the product, and then give it to the dispensaries. We're learning in phase 2 now they're giving a whole year for these groups to get up and running as opposed to 6 months. So it's a learning process, but we're right in the middle of it.
Very, very interesting, Russ. And what is your goal with what you're doing?
So my goal, we're getting 3 dispensaries up and running. I have a nonprofit 501c3 that is been responsible for about 45 events over the last 3 years to help bring the state up and get everybody educated, from scientists, doctors, advocates, you name it. We did what we could to get rid of that reefer madness stigma. We did a good job. And we're basically just really helping support the industry everywhere we can and anywhere we can, events like this and so on and so forth. So it's just pushing things forward.
So once, you said it's already up and running, once it's more and more available for patients, how does it pretty much work that, okay, I don't want to do the pharmaceutical thing, I want to try this?
Yeah, so you're basically going to go to the state, you're going to apply. It says that you believe that you're a candidate for it and have one of the conditions. Then you're going to go to your doctor. Your doctor's going to prove that you do have one of these qualifying conditions, check off the box in the computer system with the state, and then you go online, you pay $50, and you get your card sent to you. The cost for the doctor is about $250 to $300. That's about the going rate. And within a couple of weeks, basically, you could have a legal medical marijuana card. And and be walking into a dispensary and talk to their pharmacist about maybe weaning off of what you're currently on, or getting off painkillers, whatever your particular ailment.
It seems like it's going to be a lot of a process to kind of educate people, especially what I've learned already today at the conference. So that's what your goal is, and you keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Best place we can connect with you, Russ? Where's the best place?
You can check us out at medicalcannabissociety.org. Take a look, see what we have.
Are you on social media, Russ?
I personally am on LinkedIn. Yeah, hit me on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Russ
Well, we have to
Cersosimo.
talk about it. You could be a big superstar for sure, Russ,
Oh,
especially
thank
what's going to happen in PA.
Thank you.
Good talking to you, Russ.
Very good.
You're watching the Neil Haley Show and listening to the Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.